Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. So the recording studio is still in disarray. The tables are out of commission. So we're still in Tabletop Simulator. A lot going on, but hopefully this stuff will be resolved soon. What I may do is try to get one small table set up, so at least I have that. But for now, there's plenty to do in Tabletop Simulator. So let's go ahead and continue along our Space Empires 4X game. This is a basic game of Space Empires, as you'll recall, 2-player, and we're just kind of playing through it in anticipation of the final expansion, which is at the printers, as I understand it now. So that's great news if you're a fan of Space Empires 4X. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, one thing I forgot to do at the end of the last turn, we were in the economics phase, and when you get down to the very end of the economics phase, the last thing you do is increase colonies. And I did not do that. I forgot to do it. I believe each empire had a colony they could have declared. So up here, not declared, but actually established. They had already declared that they were colonizing these systems. The blue player here at Bethel. So when you're playing this game, what you do is you flip the colony ship over to its colony side, and you'll put a colony size 1 on that. It's not a 5. The 5 is the maximum that it can be. So you'll grab one of these colony 1 markers to note that it is a brand new colony. And, well, it just sucked it inside. So these are actually not tokens in Tabletop Simulator, if you're familiar with that. They're actually set up as cards for some. Now, I didn't create this module, and I don't know who did, but these should be tokens and not cards, but whatever, we're okay. So it's a colony size 1, and we'll do the same thing down here for the yellow player because he had he did here. He had a system that he was colonizing. So you remember, you flip the colony ship. Now that one has MS Pipeline on the back. I have no idea why. So let's see if there's any colony markers down here. There is. Yeah. So what you would get, and I think, yeah, so you flip the colony ship over to let's just copy this. Flip the colony ship over to its maximum side. We'll just paste that here. If I can control Tabletop Simulator here. So we are going to, I don't know where paste is. Let's try Control V. There you go. And we'll just delete that. And so we'll grab so it's a colony size 1. And like I said, you flip your colony marker over to indicate the maximum size, but then you put a 1 on it to show it's only a size 1. And on the back of that, your next step will be 3. Then you would go to 5. So for now, though, this is a size 1 colony. So they both have size 1 colonies on the board now. So that was at the end of the economics phase. So now we're back to turn number 1 for both sides, and we're going to roll to see who goes first. Remember, in a normal game, the players would bid to see who goes first. And let me show you this real quick. This is something else I'm going to do. On the production sheet here, there is a place for turn order bid. And that's where you would bid your CPs to try to become the player with the initiative. What I'm going to do, though, is use that line for maintenance, because I don't know why the maintenance line is missing in this spreadsheet, but I'm going to use the turn order bid area for maintenance costs. So we had 1 scout for the yellow player last turn. That's why there's a 1 here. We will not be using turn order bid. We will be rolling the dice to see who goes first. It'll be random. Which actually I kind of prefer anyway. I'm not sure I like the bidding system, but I guess it has its place. So what we're going to do is a 1 through 5 player 1, and then, 1 through 5 player 1, 6 through 10 is player 2. So let's roll. That is a 10, because remember, 0 is a 10 in this game. And we will have player yellow go first. And again, we march along the sequence of play. The first thing you would do is move. So let's go ahead and have the yellow player move. So we're up here with their 1 little scout left. Remember, he lost 2 of his scouts in the first go around. So I'm going to move. This scout's going to come down to here. And again, it's annoying that they're cards, but whatever. So let's see. These colony ships, I'm going to move this one forward. And I am going to also move this one forward. And over here, we had a miner that had dropped off a mineral. So we have another mineral up here in this hex. So I'm going to have this miner move out. So he's going to come into this hex because it's much safer. There's no black holes. We have a destroyer now we can bring out. So let's bring the destroyer out as well. Shipyards do not move. And I believe we have conducted all movement for the yellow player. Now we are going to conduct combat, but there's no combat. So now we're going to conduct exploration. Only one hex to explore, and that's this one. So we flip. It's a mineral. So that's good for the yellow player. So now the yellow player has moved, conducted combat if necessary, and explored. Now we go to the blue player and repeat. So let's start up here. And it looks like we have discovered Eden. I'm going to take this scout ship is going to come down to here. That's really getting annoying. I may have to fix that at some point. So that's going to come into here. This scout ship will move out. I may just take those out because it's really not doing any good. And then this scout ship will come down to here. So the scout ships have moved. A colony ship up here is going to move to Eden, where we will declare we are colonizing. This colony ship will move. Let's move it out to here. And this scout ship has already moved. Back here, we had constructed a colony ship, I believe. So let's move this colony ship out to here. The miner will move out to here as well. So that's movement. There is no combat. And let's explore. So starting here. Flip. And there's another colony or another colonizable world there. So that's good. This scout ship, let's explore. We flip. And there is another colony. Wow. This is a very good start for the blue player and not a very good start for the yellow player. We'll flip this. Asteroids. And if you're curious as to what the asteroids do, it affects movement and also combat. So if you were moving into an asteroid hex, you would have to come to a complete stop no matter what your technology is. And if you're in combat in a hex with asteroids, it would take your attack technology levels all down to 0. So that's what the asteroids would do. So I believe we have explored. Of course, we were supposed to do combat, but remember, we don't have any, so we're okay there. So I think we have moved, we have explored, and combat. So that's the complete cycle of a turn. So now we go back to the yellow player and do turn number 2. And actually, we should probably move this up now to saying we're on turn 2. And we repeat. So let's start with our scout who's still out there. I'm going to move the scout into this hex. And we will hold the colony ships there, I believe. The destroyer is going to move into this hex. The miner will move forward 1. And that is movement. So now we go to combat. There is no combat. Now we go to explore. So the scout hopefully found a colony. No, the scout found a nebula. And again, nebula would affect movement like asteroids and also combat. I believe it's the defense level of all ships go to 0, no matter what they are if you're fighting in a nebula. So that is nebula. And then we had another explorer over here with a destroyer. Asteroids, more asteroids. So I think that is all the exploration and again, no combat. So that was it for the yellow player. Now we come back to the blue player. And we will get to move the colony ship here. This one's already declared as colonizing this world. We'll move our scout forward here. We'll move this scout forward here. This colony ship will declare he's colonizing Orion. This scout ship is going to go to here. And we have a colony ship here. Let's move the colony ship forward to here. And the miner's going to haul this mineral back to Terra. So let's do that. And that is movement. Now let's do our exploration here. Another nebula. Here. More asteroids. And over here, now this is deep space. Remember, the white markers are deep space, so they're a little more dangerous than the home system markers. So let's see what we've got here. And there you go, danger. So what does danger do? You look it up in the rule book. Dangers, it's actually rule 6.4. I will read this to you. Space is dangerous, especially the unexplored bits of it. When this marker is revealed, all units in the hex are destroyed. Remove the marker from play and the hex remains empty. So basically, this ship encountered something very bad, and we don't know what it was, but it destroyed the ship and the danger was eliminated. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way. We'll just throw them up here with this other marker we've used. So as you can see, deep space is dangerous. And okay, so if you're wondering, remember this is a 2-player game. And I know it looks like the blue border extends out to here into this deep space, but it's not. We're not using this blue border. The blue border would only be used in a 4-player game. Same thing with the green player. So the scenario book tells you how to set up the home system. And the home system for the blue player was set up along these first 3 hexes. And same thing for the yellow player. They were set up along these first 3 hexes. So that, again, the colored borders wouldn't matter in this game, neither would the dashed borders. And that's why I drew the gray border around it to show you what the playing board looks like for a 2-player game. So that was exploration. No combat, nothing else to do. So now we go back to turn number 3. So let's move the turn marker now comes to 3. We go back to the yellow player, starting with the scout. And I'm going to move the scout. Where's our scout? Our colony ships are here. I'm going to move the scout down to here. And I am going to move the destroyer is going to move up to here. So I think I'm going to leave, let's see, do I want to leave the colony ships here? I could bring one forward either into this hex or this hex. So the colony ships can enter the nebula. I believe. I don't think that's going to do anything. They have to start adjacent and all movement halts when they enter the hex, but I think that would be a valid move. Let's do that. Let's bring one colony ship forward. And I am going to leave this one here. So the miner is continuing to move along. He's going to move into here and pick up this mineral. And nothing else to move, no combat. So now we explore. We flip this over. There's another mineral. And the destroyer is going to explore here. There's another world for him to colonize. So that's move, combat, and explore. And now we go up to the blue player and repeat. This scout ship is just going to go forward. This scout ship is going to go forward. And we lost the one down here. Now, one thing is probably a good habit to do is so you're paying maintenance on those ships, and this is why these blocks are down here. You can enter your losses. So turn number 2, when we come up, we'll have to remember we had a loss of 1 on our maintenance. We could also come up here and just decrease this down to 2, another option. But we'll put the 1 in there now to note that we have in fact lost one of our ships. It just makes calculating that easier once you get into the spreadsheety phase of things. So we have moved everybody that can move. Well, no, we haven't moved this colony ship. So we definitely want to move this forward and declare we're colonizing that world. I think we are good now with movement. So let's explore. Starting up here, flip. Vulcan, live long and prosper. So another potential colony there. Let's flip this one. More minerals. And I believe that was it. So movement, combat, and exploration is done. And I believe that was the 3rd and final phase. And so that will take us into the economics phase. And remember, this would be done simultaneously, but let's go ahead and just start with the yellow player. So collect colony income. So let's go look. We still have the home world, which is 20. And we brought no minerals back. And we have 1 colony, actually. If you remember, we flipped this one at the end of the last economics phase. So we actually have 21 now for colony CP. So we'll come in here and put a 21. Again, we brought no minerals. Whoops. The sheet grabs it if you click in it. We brought no minerals back to a colony. We will do that next turn though, so not this turn. So no mineral CPs, no pipelines. So the 21 and 5 now is a income of 26. And remember, we're not going to do the turn bid order. This was just maintenance. So the maintenance is going to be, is the maintenance the same? No, we built a destroyer. And I should have shown that down here. So when we bought that destroyer, we could have put a 1 down here to show that there's more maintenance. But we know we have 2 ships now. So our maintenance cost will be 2. And so we subtract now 26 minus 2 back to 24. So we can spend 24. Let's go back over here and I'll show you where we're at here. So we've collected our income, our mineral income, no pipelines. We paid our maintenance, and we're not bidding for player order. We'd come down here and purchase units and technologies. We still have the 24 to play with. So what do we want to do? We probably want to buy ships. Let's take a look real quick. We found a colony here that we can, well, a world that we can colonize up here, and we still have 2 colony ships remaining. We may want to build another colony ship. We need to get more of those out there. We need to find the colonies and start colonizing them, since the blue player is doing that rapidly. May not hurt to get another military ship. I mean, maybe we want to concentrate on attacking the blue player, since it looks like he's going to colonize. His income is going to explode if we don't do something about that. So we could build another destroyer. We don't have cruiser technology yet. What would that cost us? Where is the technology for? Let's see. Ship size, we're at 2. We'd have to spend 15 so we could build a cruiser. That might not be a bad idea. And then the colony ship would cost, I think they're 9. I looked this up last time. I believe it's up here. 8. So a colony ship would be 8. Or do we want to increase our movement speed? The yellow player is in an interesting situation. Like I said, the blue player has all these worlds he's found that he can colonize. Maybe we, so 8 for a colony. Let's buy another colony ship. So let's do that. I'm going to grab a colony ship. We'll put that in the home world. Probably ought to build some more bases too. So back down here for now. We've spent 8. So we've spent 8 on a colony ship. So we're at 16. Let's go back to look at technologies again real quick. And of course, these advanced ones will not apply. We're just looking at the basic technologies. Could also increase our attack rating. Again, if we're going to be outproduced, we may want to consider attacking the blue player sooner rather than later. You know what we're going to do? We're going to spend 15 to increase our ship size to 3. So let's go ahead and say that we're going to spend 15, and that's going to leave us 1, I believe. So I'm going to put 1 remaining. Our ship size, I didn't mark this, but we were at 2. And now we are at 3. I may have marked that. I don't know. So this spreadsheet is weird. Like, I did not create the spreadsheet. I don't know who did. And the first time I went through and entered all these numbers, it erased it when I reloaded the game. So I had to go back in and edit it in order to save these numbers. And I hope they save again. I may have checked this. Actually, I think I did when I bought this, and I think it erased that too. So hopefully it won't erase it this time. So we have spent, we're down to 1 with our CPs remaining. Those, of course, would be carried over into the next turn. Let's go ahead and put it up there. And I think that's going to take us through almost the end of the economics phase for the yellow player. We have placed our units. And the last thing we do now is increase the colonies, which we forgot to do last time, but we're going to do it this time. So where is our colony? Did we have, I thought we had a colony to increase. We do have one here. So what happens now is this 1 increases, you flip it, it's now a 3. They'll get 3 CPs from that next turn. And no other colonies for the yellow player. So now we go back and the blue player will repeat. So we'll come back up here. And we had a carryover of 4. And for our colonies, we have 20, plus they had a colony already, so we get 1 for that. So 21. Let's go ahead and put a 21 in here. Okay, and I think they hauled a mineral back. They did, so let's cash in that mineral. That's a 5. So we have 21 plus 9 is going to give us 30. And you can see, like I said, the blue player is already, in my mind anyway, way ahead of the yellow player. And that's the randomness of the game. So that makes every game different. Replayability is through the roof on this thing. Maintenance, I believe we're still at 3. I don't think we added any ships. We lost a ship, though. So maintenance here is actually 2 now, which would bring us to 28. Oops, not 289. Not yet, anyway. 228. All right, and now 28 to spend. Now, I think we might need another colony ship. Let's see. We had these colony ships yeah, we're about to lose 1, 2, 3 colony ships. And I think we had another world we discovered, Vulcan. So let's go ahead and buy a colony ship. And again, that's going to cost us 8. So I'm going to say we're spending 8 of those now on a colony ship. We'll grab a blue player colony ship. Bring that out. And that would leave us 20 left. So we have 20 remaining. And do we want to think about defense here for our blue player? Maybe we want some defense technology for the blue player. Or maybe we want to buy a destroyer. We need to start spending on tech, though. Could buy tactics, fire first. Could go with the attack or defense, movement. Let's go ahead and get ship size 2, because we want to be able to build bases as we build these colonies. You want to build forward bases. It's critical in this game to build bases outward from your home world. I probably should have been doing that all along. So let's go ahead and get technology. Let's go ahead and spend 10 on technology. And that will give the blue player ship size 2. And we still have 10 left to spend. So let's see. Do we want to buy a destroyer now? Let's buy the destroyer. That's going to cost 9. So this would be a total of now 17 and would leave us 1 remaining CP. We'll show that there. So let's call that good. So we built a destroyer. Where are the blue ships? I thought they were up here. There should be blue counters somewhere. Where did I get the in here? Those ships are. Okay, no, it's just me being an idiot. Those ships are all right here in this stack. They're just, like I said, they're stacked, and I just forgot they were sitting there. So let's grab a destroyer, a DD1, and that will come out here at Terra. So that's why I was saying you want to build bases forward, because otherwise all your ships are going to start in this corner, but you're going to want your ships eventually to be starting much closer to the border with the other empires. So that is, I think, it for the economics, right? We have spent everything except 1 CP. Now we go into, and again, I didn't really step through this. just make sure you hit all these things. Really, the last thing to remember is increase your colonies. So we collected our income, paid maintenance, and we purchased technologies and placed units. So now we're going to increase our colonies. So for the blue player, there's going to be a lot to do here. We take this colony marker. Now this is a colony size 3. These will flip and get a 1. So colony size 1. This one will flip. It is now a colony size 1. And this one will flip. And it is now a colony size 1. So you'll see that just right there, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 extra CP for these 3 new colonies. So they were very lucky to grab those 3 like that. All right, so that we have increased our income for our colonies. So the turn marker will go back to turn number 1, and we will restart the turn order again. But what I'm going to do is stop it here because we played through yet another complete round of Space Empires 4X. I don't want to go too long with these videos, mainly just to show us how to play the game. So I think we're learning hopefully you're learning how to play this. And like I said, the expansion, the final expansion, All Good Things, is coming out soon, and I can't wait for that. One of these days I'll do a playthrough of the entire complete game with all the expansions included. But in the meantime, the basic game is the way to start. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be running this at Origins again this year. I've got a special game that I will be running. Look for an announcement on that coming up when we are allowed. In addition to that, maybe I'll run this again. I'm not real sure. So you'll have to keep an eye out for that. And if you want to try this in person with me at Origins, that might be a possibility. I may bring it anyway and just run it outside of the normally scheduled games. So that's a possibility. All right, so let's go ahead and end it here. The yellow player, I believe, is in trouble. The blue player is looking pretty good, but who knows? These games can go anyway. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. And I look forward to seeing you back here next time. Thank you for watching.